happy. So let's get things started with your national days of the week. Yeah. Monday, the camera's way over there. Does it look like I'm looking at the camera? It should. I'm looking dead down the pipe, they call it. I'm looking down the pipe. Monday, November 24th, is National Sardines Day. Now, an excellent source of protein. Yeah, it gets you some sardines, man. They serve so many benefits for your body. Get the ones in water. Don't get the ones in oil. Even though the ones in oil do taste better, I'll admit, get the ones in water because they're not as many calories, not as many of the oils. Even though it's supposedly the good oils, whatever. But you get the sardines and you can eat the sardines like in a sandwich or by themselves. And then you could drink the juice or you can share the juice. And I like to share the juice with coworkers that I don't like. I just sprinkle it around, just a little dab will do you. Just sprinkle the little sardine juice around their office space, and they'll question their olfactory senses. Why am I smelling fish? Is anybody eating fish? And you deny it, and you hide it. You hide the tin. And I had options. I give 4 different options to choose from. I specifically chose sardines today because, again, an excellent source of protein, and I had some for breakfast. Yes, the juice is good. Staring into your souls. All right, I got to make it a habit of looking at the comments after I do the day. I do the day, do the comments, go back to doing another day. And I'll cut all that out in one form or another. I do many versions, and in the long version, I just kind of leave it all in. Anyway, if you don't like sardines, stop hating yourself. It's okay. And they're a great practical joke. They're tasty, delicious, high source of protein, low source of bad fats, and they're good for practical joking. Get yourself some sardines on Monday, November 24th. National Sardines Day. Moving on to the comments. Now, this is where I go and I look at the comments. Yes, the juice. We get the juice. Yes. Okay. All right. Not everything's got to be dirty, man. Not everything has to be dirty. There we go. I got to switch screens there. All right. And we got Mother joining us on TikTok because he hates me. Because doing it on Facebook makes my life so much easier. I have to do all of the things to put it on TikTok literally just for him. Because I love him. Moving on. Oof. Is that what I think it is? Let's do a quick Google search because I don't know. Oh, it is. It is. I didn't know it was spelled that way. Eat with a Friend Day. Oh, okay. All right. Tuesday, November 25th is National Blase Day. I never seen the word blase spelled out before. I assumed there would be a Z in there somewhere. It has the perfect, it looks like the perfect Z word. But when I read it, and I didn't think it was blazy, and I quickly Google searched it, I found out it actually is blase. A blase, to my recollection, must be used repetitively. You cannot, you can't say just something is blase. It doesn't really do the job. You got to say it's blase. I don't know why. There are quirks in human communication. In Italian, I do not believe I have ever heard a single Italian ever say the word yes one time. I don't think it exists. I don't think it's a possibility. I think if you look in an Italian dictionary, when it says yes equals the answer, CCC. I also believe that same anomaly exists in Spanish. What does que significa? No, that's Italian. What does yes mean in Spanish? CCC. And blase. Not to be distracted. Blase, blase is that feeling of unimpressedment. I feel that so blase, blase. I don't know why. Thurgood Marshall, not Thurgood Marshall. That's hilarious. Mr. Howell, Thurgood Howell the Third. I feel like that is the voice for using the word blase. Find a way to be unimpressed with the things around you. On Tuesday, November 25th, National Blase Day. To the comments, Thurston Howell the Third. Thurgood Marshall would have been a much better cast member on Gilligan's Island. I hereby decree. I don't know why he would speak like that. I've never heard the man's voice, but it's a lawyer voice. Deal with it. I hereby decree that Professor Russell. I can't remember any of the characters. I know the characters, but I don't know the professor's last name. Anybody else? Anybody else know the professor's last name from Gilligan's Island? Here's who I know: the captain, the skipper, and Gilligan, and the professor, and Mary Ann, who was hotter than Ginger, and Mr. and Mrs. Howell. Occasionally, a monkey would show up. I am not going to sing the song, I'm Not Your Monkey. Moving on. Oh, ho, ho. I have no idea what that one means. Because my partner is a chef, this may be a good question that leads into this week's question of the week. We'll see. Because it's Thanksgiving week, so it's a weird one. What we do when it comes to talking about food is kind of weird. Wednesday, November 26th, is National Cake Day. Immediately, in that voice, as soon as I said Cake Day, I thought of the other version of cake, which I also like cake. I think no matter what the definition is that you put in front of me, I'm going to enjoy cake. But for the purposes of this conversation, we're going to say the cake we're talking about is spongy, edible, tasty and delicious cake. Not those stupid cupcakes, which Chick Brew will tell you are nothing but hand portable cakes, which is brilliant and funny. But they got the stupid tops, and I can never eat around the top correctly. I have a huge nose, okay? When I go to eat a cupcake, I get all the stuff in my nose. Take that as you will. when I'm eating cake, I get it all in my nose. My question is, and this would make for an excellent question of the week. I don't know if it is yet. It's not official, but I think it would. What is your favorite cake? And man, there are some good cakes out there. I think we've done this in the past with pie. We've done some things. And I do not feel bad about. I don't think there's a cake out there that I've had that I didn't like. I challenge you to come up with a cake recipe that I wouldn't like, because I'm pretty good. Mother going. No, I'm going to stick with the topic and then go to comments. So, how about putting a twist on National Cake Day and trying to come up with the most revolting cake you can think of? For me, ingredient number one, sardines. I believe sardines are tasty and delicious and a high source of protein, and they're good for you, and they make for great tricks around the office. But as a cake ingredient, I'm not sure. I think maybe not. I think the next cake I'm going to make is going to have sardines in it. What cake are you going to make on Wednesday, November 26th? National Cake Day. To the comments. All right. Both things you describe, edible and soft. They are not edible. Edible, consumable, and you spelled it wrong. I feel like this has been done before. Maybe it has. I don't know. Don't keep track. I'm pretty much fly by night. Rice cake. I like rice cakes. Screw you, Roger. That's funny. I want to say the Stanleys liked a German chocolate. Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, we did. We did do it before. Jess's red velvet. Yeah, we did it before. So it won't be. It won't be it. And Mother is a fan of German chocolate. I did like my take this time around to come up with a disgusting cake. What ingredients could you make out of a cake that are disgusting? But you know, the Taney family disagrees. Speaking of which, is the rest of the Taney family with us today? Because they make great comments. Moving on. Oh, ooh, can't be that. You're an okay Black jelly beans. Oh yeah, that could no. I think if you used the flavor of black jelly beans, I think you could come out with a very nice cake, like a little sambuca, little anisette. Chocolate lava cake with vanilla ice cream is an awesome cake. Moving on to Thursday, November 27th. Thanksgiving Day, y'all. Yeah, you know, our American Thanksgiving is one of the floaters. It's always going to be on the last Thursday of November, no matter what the day is. So throughout the course of your Facebook memories, you're going to be seeing Thanksgiving popping up on Mondays this year, and then Fridays and Sundays, and it's just it's crazy. It's crazy that we do it on a Thursday. But I'm okay with Thursday Thanksgiving because it's alliterative. I like alliteration. I like it when we do those things. And you're going to make all of the Thanksgiving things that you make for your dinner. But did you know that Thursday, November 27th is also National French Toast Day? Now, I don't know what makes French toast French. Did they come up with the initial recipe and somehow? No, I think here's much like Philadelphia cream cheese that was not made in Philadelphia. Philadelphia cream cheese was invented in New York. They gave it the Philadelphia name because in that, man, times have changed, but in those days, Philadelphia was considered bougie. And when we named all these things French, maybe the French had a good reputation. Other than the current reputation. Maybe they had a cool reputation. French fries. Those are awesome. Were they really made in France? Were they made in France? French toast. I feel like French toast would have been invented in America. I feel that's a very American thing to do. Like, I got some toast. Oops, it slipped into the eggs. What am I going to do? Turn it over. Add some syrup to it. That feels way more American. I believe that if the French actually invented French toast, it would have been on a croissant. French toast a croissant. I don't know. I don't care. I am curious as to if you've ever done French toast on anything other than, I think Texas toast is the bread you're supposed to use. I think that's what it's come down to. Big, old, thick, old slabs of bread. And Wonder Bread. Wonder Bread is always wonderful no matter what you use it with. Period. Wonder Bread is best if you just smash it up into a tight ball and just knob on it. Yeah, I earned these pounds, baby. and then dip it in an egg batter and fry it, and then cover it in syrup. I don't believe the French invented it. That's what I'm saying. So find a way to celebrate your Thanksgiving breakfast this year by incorporating the toast of France. Get you some France à toast. Moving on. I saw your comment, Roger, and that's you might have caught me laughing out of turn, but that's what made me laugh. I agree with your take on the name. Now it's come on, man. Remember the audience, please. Texas toast, so Paris, Texas. That's good. That's good. Isn't Paris, Texas the home of Vanilla Ice? I believe it is. It's either Paris or Detroit, Texas. I think it's Paris, Texas. But him and Jamie are from the same hometown, so that's how I know that. Mother, so French bread is called French bread because of marketing. That would make sense. French bread to me is nothing but skinnier Italian bread. They have the same shape. They have the same consistency. They have a crunchy outside, a soft center. But an Italian bread is bigger. It's girthier than the French bread. I said what I said. Ooh, oh yes, let's do that. Let's just do that. I think that's funnier. I'm going to do that instead. I'm going to take a sip and then I'm going to do that. That's what I'm pontificating, Mother. That's what I think. Friday. Damn it, Roger. You make me want to use that comment. I'm not going to do it. Let's start again. Friday, November 28th, is National Flossing Day. Now, often when we come across these national days of the week, there are some that I disagree with. For one reason or another, I disagree with the time or the placement of the date, and National Flossing Day is one of those I disagree with. Because who's flossing after Thanksgiving? People who know what flossing is. If you floss your teeth at all, you were properly trained as a child to get in between where the bristles can't get, to get all the other meat products out of your mouth. You were trained, and you created a habit in your life, and you take the string and you tie it around your finger like you're getting ready to garrote your teeth. You're just so angry. I don't floss with the silly string because it's the 21st century, and they've made these sticks. And the sticks got floss attached to them, so I don't have to garrote my teeth. I can just take the stick and go, and it's got a pointy end on the other end in case there's like a chunk of sardine left over from Monday. Or you pop that through. I use a flossing sticks. Okay, and they're minty fresh and tasty and delicious. People, they use the thing. How you floss isn't really the issue. It's that you floss. Because 4 out of 5 dentists recommend flossing. Shut up, 5th dentist. I disagree with National Flossing Day being a day that comes after Thanksgiving. I believe it should have been appropriately placed the day after Halloween. Because those are your young and your impressionables. Those are the ones with sweetness stuck in their teethuses. Those are the ones who found what caramel, the tacit properties of caramel in their teethuses. And they're young and trainable. That's when they need to break out the stick and they need to, or they got to do all of that. Us Thanksgiving people, we grown, son. We're gonna sleep and eat leftovers. There's no time in the day after Thanksgiving to be flossing, cause you're just constantly grazing. My father-in-law used to say you put your feed bag on. Yeah, yeah. Cause there's turkey sandwiches that gotta get ate, right? and there's leftover Waldorf salad that got to get eaten, and them cranberries ain't gonna eat themselves. Oh wait, I gotta floss. Ain't no time for flossing. I'm eating. So I disagree with the placement. But one way or the other, find a way to celebrate. And no, Friday. Yeah. Friday, November 28th, National Flossing Day. To the comments. I love the speed at which people pop in and out of the TikTok. That always makes me laugh. Roger laughed at making me laugh, which is funny in its own right. National Flossing Day, when you swing your arms and hips like an epileptic child. Oh, yeah, let's do that flossing. That's even better. Soon, so tell me. The annual lie. I recently pontificated on the fact that all members of the military are trained at an early age to lie, and lie often. For one of two reasons. One is you're a motivated, get things done kind of guy, and you're not going to let something like a little sickness keeping you from executing the mission. And the opposite end of the spectrum is you're a lazy POS who will do and say anything to get out of work. Those are the two spectrums, but both of them require you to lie often. And no bigger lie in my personal research. No bigger lie has ever been said in the United States military, except for the question, how much do you drink? 1 or 2 glasses maybe in a week on a weekend. Yeah, we lie. Oh, that was more for me than you. Moving on. Ooh, yeah. I 100,000 billion% disagree with this next one. Stand by for heavy seas. Saturday, November 29th, is National Throw Out Your Leftovers Day. Now, I do not know who the president of the National Days of the Week Society is. I don't know who the chief executive operator is, the chief operating officer. I do not know the chain of command for the National Days of the Week people. But I want their names. I want their names. I want their email addresses. I want to gaslight them. I want to dock them. I want a campaign going forward saying no to ones I disagree with. A very angry letter writing campaign that says no, this one is wrong. Because it's the 21st century. And our food does not need to be thrown away 2 days after Thanksgiving. Excuse me, 3 days after Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 2 days after Thanksgiving. We don't throw away our food 2 days. We don't throw away leftovers 2 days after they were created. That's wasteful. And modern refrigeration technologies and vacuum sealed packaging and thermal discharging and thermal viscosity. I just had to throw that in. Hypoallergenic seals. No. I live with someone that I love very much. And nothing is more contentious in our relationship than the expiration date of previously prepared food. It's not 48 hours. If it was 48 hours, I don't need a refrigerator. I would just go and buy sustenance on a daily basis. There was no need for refrigeration for anything if you're throwing it away in 2 days. Eat faster. Or realize that we've made great advances in modern technology. And you can save that food and eat that food and not die from that food for several days. Here's the trick. Smell it. If it smells bad, don't eat it. Or test it. I have, if it is not clear, I have made many, many bad food choices in my life. And there have been times I've dealt with occasional botulism or whatever, trichinosis or salmonella or any food-related illnesses I may have concocted over the years. But it wasn't generally, it's not because of leftovers that were left over for too long. Usually, it had some experimental value. Usually. An important life lesson, and I'll share this with you now. If you're ever going to eat street food in a foreign country, get the street food that is fried in hot boiling oil. Because there's a high probability that whatever was going to kill you on the mystery meat on a stick has probably been killed. Because boiling oil is a good way of killing bacteria. Just a life hack. Just something you should know. So again, get me the names, get me the addresses, get me the email addresses, the home phone numbers, the satellite imagery of the people in charge of the National Days of the Week. Let's protest this one. It should be changed. It should not be 48 hours after Thanksgiving, National Throw Out Your Leftovers Day. Ugh. To the comments. Looks like yeah, what if it is sardines? It smells bad, don't eat it, but don't expect to get anything back. You saw where I was going with that. In my brain, I never said what I was laughing about up here. I didn't share it out there. Because this is a show for people, James. All people. Good people. Really good people. That's a funny one, but only because of a Rick and Morty skit that makes me... I can make that into something. Sunday, November 30th, is National Personal Space Day. What is your personal space, and how do you react when someone gets inside it? Are you an angry personal space violator, offender person? If I step into you, do you step into me, or do you step back from me? Do you advance, or do you retreat? How do you handle it when someone enters your personal space? Our personal space as Americans, they did the studies. They said personal space for Americans is about 3 feet. That's what we needed. Now that space has been expanded a little bit because, we went 6 feet because of COVID. And then we pulled back from 6 feet. So we're probably, good guesstimation, a swag, if you will. We're probably at 4 now. 4 is like a comfortable distance. If you're a little closer than 4, I can still handle it. But when you get within inside 36 inches, now we got an issue. Now you're in my personal space. But for all my friends who've lived overseas, you'll learn those rules don't apply. That personal space in different countries is measured in millimeters and centimeters. It's on the metric system. So where we need 36 inches to be comfortable, you get to Italy and they convert it to metrics and it equals 2 inches. They're just right up on you. They just want to talk to you. It's so nice. It's so close. And Korea's about 18 inches because they also want to be close to you, but not as close as the Italians. I do not like invading your personal space, so much so that I may seem standoffish. I don't want to accidentally get inside your bubble of personal space. I want to be near you. I want to talk to you in a hushed and clipped tones. I don't want to have to yell and scream. But I've learned to yell and scream because I speak at people from a distance. I don't know how you respond. Here's what I believe, and I could be wrong. I believe we all respond two ways when it comes to someone invading our personal space. The number one way, and not one or the other, these are two things we all do simultaneously. One is we do nothing. Our body is uncomfortable with someone being that close to us because that is our personal space. So we do nothing because that would be rude. But simultaneously, the other side of our brain is, I wish a mother trucker would. There's a part of our brain that wants to let them know they have invaded our personal space, to shove back, to punch them, to aggressively assert our dominance over this person. Get out of my personal space. But simultaneously, we don't want to be rude. So we do nothing, but we think bad thoughts. And that's America. That's just, I guess, just being human. The only ones that I react to, honestly, I am that person. I think bad thoughts, but I do nothing. Until I realize you're one of those people who's doing it on purpose. You're intentionally trying to make me back down. It's usually a work adversarial relationship, and you're saying something and the person closes in on you, and they say something and you say something and they close in on you to say something because they're expecting you to back down. No. That's not how this is going to happen. See? Because now I'm thinking bad thoughts, but I'm also not going to not do something. Not going to not do something. And that is the explanation of a double negative. Two negatives make a positive, and I'm not going to do something means I'm going to do something, just so you know. Look at you, learning things. How about that? It's the last day of the month. It's Sunday, November 30th, National Personal Space Day.